All right, and I'm going to go ahead and record today's training. So if you guys want to get a copy of it, just remind, it takes hours for these things to convert because of how big the files they are. So just remind me tomorrow if you want a copy of it. Brianna, are you logged in? Not yet. Okay. Brianna just informed me that she won her first contract. I wanted to know what she needs to do now that she's been awarded. So she'll be on here shortly. We'll go ahead and go through that so you guys know once you win one what you need to do, what the next steps are. Meanwhile, does anyone have a bid or a solicitation or proposal they want to work on today?
John, I sent you one earlier, your email, Mrs. Ada.
All righty. I'll just go ahead and search it because I've got 100 emails today.
Let me get it for you. It was NIH one.
All right, this one right here?
Yes. Well,
There it is.
Well, I don't, okay, yes. What I don't understand is this bid, is this still open or has it closed? It looks like it's been reissued and I can't tell that.
All righty, let's take a look. Here's one, before we pull that one up, I've still got this one on my screen. This is one that I worked with a vendor in bidding on, was due August 25th, and they still haven't awarded it yet. So if you've got an opportunity,
You need anything else from me?
if you've got an opportunity that you've submitted a bid on and a couple months later it still hasn't been awarded, don't stress it, don't worry. Sometimes it takes them a while to actually award bids, and this is a prime example. Let's go ahead and pull up the one that we were just looking at. I've muted everyone so we don't have any background noise. So if anyone has a question, just go to the chat box right here and type in your question, and then I'll unmute you once I see that you have a question. NIH is the National Institutes of Health. And this is a pre-solicitation, so this is not out for bid yet. The synopsis tells us blah, blah, blah. Synopsis doesn't tell us anything. They want events management, technical support, video production services, non-exhaustive list of types of services provided for each subcategory, sub-service categories, blah, blah, blah. Translates, blah, blah, blah. Client info, executive board range, events management. Assess and evaluate design audiovisual multimedia functionality, operate and maintain audiovisual multimedia presentation systems, coordinate support audiovisual multimedia presentation requirements, operate and maintain the NIH Television Operations Center. This is a pretty big contract here. They want you to actually run the Television Operations Center, provide support staff, media asset management, production services, post-production services. It is a small business set-aside. This is a 5-year contract. Let's start with what questions do you have on this, Ada?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so you said it's a large contract, so you just can't bid on part of it. You have to, it's the whole thing.
Most of these, unless it says in here that they're going to consider multiple offerers, which they do sometimes they'll award it to multiple vendors. But unless it says something like that, then yes, they want you to bid on the entire contract.
Okay. All right. And I didn't know that it was a solicitation. Now I see it says pre-solicitation. That's why I couldn't add myself as an interested vendor, but I am on a watch list. So if it changes, I will know that. You can watch it
at this point. That's all you can do, though, because they don't have the interested vendors list is right here, but they don't have the link to join.
Okay. All right, then I'll
Oh, there
watch
it
this
is.
one.
So you can add yourself to the interested vendors list by clicking on the link, but it's going to email them, and then they have to add you.
Where'd you find it at?
If you
Where'd you do
click the interested vendors list, it's at the bottom of the list right here.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
And then it actually emails them, and then they have to manually add you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was my question.
Yep. Other than that, all you can do on this one is hurry up and wait.
Okay. All right. I'm good at that.
Any other questions?
Not on that one. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have a bid or solicitation they want to work on today? Looks like Brianna's in here. You've got an award you want to work on, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
And
Like I said, this is our first award, so it looks like everything that I need to fill out is something that I filled out in the bid, the quote that I submitted.
okay.
Just wanting you to help me walk through it from scratch.
First of all, just let the people know on the training, you've been at this, what, about 2 months?
Yeah.
And is this your
It's
first
very
bid that you
small.
submitted?
Yes.
That's okay.
Well, no,
It's
not
first
submitted.
one.
It's just the first one
How many
we've
did
been
you submit?
awarded. We've submitted about like 20, maybe, give or take.
Okay. So it's just a matter of time. You know, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a long-term solution. It's a retirement plan, if you will. Get in the system, work it right, submit bids, call primes, and you will win contracts eventually. It doesn't happen for everybody right away. Some people win their first one, just like in this case, you didn't win your first one, but you kept at it and you didn't give up. That's the important thing. Did you send any of the documentation they sent you to me to look at?
Yes, I attached it to an email.
Okay, let me get your email pulled up here. This one right here?
Mm-hmm. And I believe it's like, don't we have to ship like partial and they inspect it and they give us the go-ahead to ship the rest of it?
What I would do for now is go ahead and fill this form out. You don't have to do the bottom pages. I think it looks like 9 through 15 you don't have to do. You just need to fill it out from from here up.
From page 9 and up?
Yeah, and then go ahead and submit that, and then just wait for instructions. Okay. They're pretty good about being real specific about instructions and how they want you to ship and all that. So.
All right, I didn't know if all of that was in here, because if it was, I would be a loss. I think.
No, just fill out the form, send it back to them, and wait for their instruction, and they'll pretty much walk you through it.
All right, and that first page that they had, is that mostly for them? Do I have to fill anything out on that first page? Because it seems like it's for them.
Yeah, yep, this is for them, so you're good.
Okay, All right, well, that's pretty easy then. And yeah, like I said, all that other information was just, it was provided on the quote, so I'll just refill it out.
Okay. Good
Well,
job.
thank you.
No problem. Anytime. Let me know when you got some more bids you want to work on. We'll work on them together.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Congratulations. You can stay on the training if you want. You want to listen, or if not, I will talk to you next time.
All right, absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have a bid or solicitation or proposal they want to work on today, or someone have a question about a bid, solicitation, or proposal?
John, I got a question. How do you get on the VA's changing their prime vendor list? How do I get on the prime vendor list with the vendor? It'd be like a w.o.s.b.
Some, some VA, some government agencies will have a prime vendors list, and once a year they'll give you the option to get on it. Usually they post that in f.b.o, and they'll give you instructions in f.b.o on how to get on the list.
Well, I know that they're changing, and I know who the company is. Should I contact them on my own?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And if you need help with it, just let me know. It's not a problem.
And I do have another solicitation. I'll talk to you a little bit later on that.
You got it.
Can you repeat the question, John?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you repeat that? I missed it. What did he ask you?
Oh, he was just asking about how to get on a prime vendors list for an agency. Some agencies have a prime vendors list that they buy off of, and they'll, like once or twice a year, they'll put something out in f.b.o where they're asking people that are interested in getting on that list to submit their information. And then once you submit the information, if they choose you as a prime vendor, they're going to put you on that list, and that's who they order from throughout the year.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Anybody else have a question or a proposal or bid solicitation they want to work on?
I got another question if you got time.
Sure.
Have you run into any other, I guess, vendors that are basically exclusive for some companies that won't let you in for bidding or selling their equipment? Have you run into that?
No, not very often. I mean, it does happen. I've seen situations where suppliers got the market cornered, and they don't want to let anybody in, But I've also seen situations like Pyramid, for example, prime example. The contractor that Pyramid is subbing to is the contractor that's held that contract for the last 10 years. But now that it's a small business set-aside and they're not a small business, they can't bid on it directly. So they're basically using Pyramid as a middleman just to keep the contract. And they actually gave him a good enough price. They gave him a good enough price.
Vendors, yeah. I talked to one vendor, and they only had one w.o.s.b, and they said that I had to reapply next July 1.
Yeah, it's not very common. I mean, there's things that happen that are outside of our control. I've seen suppliers that only use one distributor, and that distributor is giving them a kickback. That's why they're only using that one, Well,
I talked to the Veterans Administration. They said things are changing this year, especially with the simplified acquisition.
Yeah,
they're trying to
VA's pushing. I mean, the VA's always overspent. It's been a joke forever that the VA overspends, but there's a lot of changes this year. It's definitely going to get better, especially for small businesses.
Is there any place I can go to get more education on that?
Not really. I mean, the VA puts out articles sometimes. GSA puts out articles sometimes, but most of what they put out will rewrites the article and puts it in a layman's terms, and then I usually get that article and I rewrite it. So as long as you're subscribed to me on LinkedIn and YouTube, you'll get all the new information. Any other questions?
Yeah, John, this is James Robinson. How's it going?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Oh, okay. So my question is, we doing the cap statement? Hello?
Yes, go ahead with your question.
Yeah. So we're doing a cap statement in the past performance, right? Most of our
Yes.
jobs are in the commercial field, and we don't have any government jobs. With the past performance, is it okay to put that in?
Yes, absolutely. If it's, you don't like government past performance, use non-government past performance. If you don't have any, commercial or residential past performance, just put me down as a reference.
Okay. We do have commercial. We just don't have government stuff. So we just
Okay.
wanted to
Yeah,
make
it's
sure
fine.
we put that. Oh, okay. Good.
Any other questions?
John, I was listening to one of your training sessions, and you brought up the DAPA term.
Yes.
And what we're doing is we're working with your organization to try to get on the GSA FSS. Which would be better for us?
The DAPA is only used by certain VAs, and not all of them are pushing it. So it's kind of in that area right now where
Hello? Hello?
yeah, the only VA I know of right now that's pushing DAPA and it's mandatory is a VA out of Austin, Texas. So it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But it's one of those areas where they're really not pushing it right now.
Okay.
And it
So I
takes
should
9 months to a
pursue,
year to get you on it. So, but, it's one of those things, again, if something you guys are serious about, do it, get it out of the way. It takes 9 months to a year to process anyway. It's not going to benefit you immediately. It's definitely better to have it, not need it, and need it, not have it. Because when you do need it, you're not going to be able to get it in time because it takes so long to process.
well, we're still in the process of doing the GSA and the FSS. So we're going to continue doing that, right?
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions, any bids, solicitation proposals you guys want to work on?
I was trying to get on my f.b.o.gov to go into my vendors, and I've never done it before. It says in big red and white letters here, register now. Do I need to register on the should I already be on there when I filled out all the other information?
You should, depending on how long you've been in the system, your case manager should have created an account for you in f.b.o. If you just send them an email and CC me on it and ask them if you got an account in f.b.o, they'll resend you the password and user ID.
Oh, great. Okay. That'd be Christy.
Yeah, just email her, CC me on it. I'll make sure she gets it taken care of.
Okay, and then once I get on there, where do I go to open up my vendor citizens?
One more time.
Once I get on there, I want to get into I believe my vendor citizens, /citizens. I want to add onto my paperwork of different categories.
When you're ready, you go to f.b.o.gov and you go over here where it says vendor citizens and log in.
Okay, so maybe I'm not on the
Christy will give you your username and password so you can log in.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then let me know once you're logged in. If you can get on the training, I'll show you how to set up your searches, etc.
Okay, great.
Anybody else have any questions or a solicitation or proposal you want to work on?
I got a question again. I got an email today saying I needed to upgrade my password. Do I do that, or do I have you all do that?
f.b.o. is going to force you to update your password every 3 months minimum. If you don't, they deactivate your account, and it's kind of a pain. So yeah, definitely update your password whenever you get the notification from f.b.o.
I can do that on my end here. I don't have to get you involved.
Yeah, no, it's real easy to do. You just log into f.b.o, click change password.
Okay. I can do that.
Anybody else have any questions or bid, solicitation, proposal you want to work on? Anybody else got a bid or solicitation or proposal they want to work on or a question?
I don't have anything down this either.
Getting some kind of feedback. It's really loud, but I can't figure out where it's coming from. It goes away when I mute. Anybody else have a bid, proposal, solicitation work on or a question? If not, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody for a minute, and if anybody has a question or anything, somebody new joins, just drop me a chat message, and I'll open up the audio again so we can get rid of that background sound.